now.
No, I'm just describing her. I'm saying she's a Marxist because that's the explanation for wanting to centralise the state.
She says that she's...
What I did was every time she tried to fob me off, first of all, it wasn't private. There were 3 other people with her. There was my deputy with me. And they kept staring at us and being horrible and huffing and puffing and all kinds of things and trying to intimidate us. And they didn't give us any water to drink.
What's your response? You didn't even offer the woman a glass of water. Even we do that at Sky.
I'm not going to comment on private meetings held in good faith because I want people to be able to express their views openly and candidly.
Is this a case of recollections may differ?
I think that's fair to say, yeah.
Bridget Phillipson runs a successful school regarded as a strict ed teacher in England. Phillipson's sneering smile needs no words. Later on GB News.
Visit Michaela?
I'm always open to visiting schools. Of course, I will always, in addition, meet with school leaders in the department as well as out across the country.
OK, so you're not ruling that out?
I would never rule out visiting any school.
She's openly invited you on this show and others to go and visit Michaela, if you want to.
Sure.
According to Bridget Phillipson did not consult a single school leader of a successful school prior to completing the new education bill. This is beyond belief.
If you've come out with a policy in education that has ended up closing schools down and making teachers redundant, it can't be deemed a success, can it?
This policy will raise a significant amount of money that we can then use to invest in our savings debt.
But can you just address that point? Yeah. School closures on a education secretary's watch.
Their fees have gone up, year after year, way beyond inflation, pricing out parents.
But listen, how can you be happy that any schools are closing on your watch? Private, state. In this case, it's private and they're citing this policy. How can you possibly advocate that? Because you're not just talking about schools closing, pupils then having to go into the state system. You're also talking about teachers losing their jobs.
We do face, alongside this, both in the state and the private sector, a falling birth rate, and that is going to have consequences in the years to come. It's why we've got already significant numbers of spare places across the country because of that falling birth rate. Parents have got choices as to how they spend their money. And of course, if they choose not to opt for a particular school and demand falls, that is how the market operates.
Phillipson came across as a cold, calculating robot, speaking in a droning, monotone voice, lacking empathy and compassion. Back to Sky News and a different issue. The hot potato on the eve of, say, Keir Starmer's high news standoff with Donald Trump in the White House.
You say you want to get to 2.5%. By when? And when will you tell us by when?
We do want to get to 2.5%. The last time that was achieved was under a Labour government, and we're determined to get there again. We will set out that pathway towards it, but I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you in not setting out that timetable this morning on your show.
Will he not tell Mr Trump when we're going to get to 2.5%?
We will be setting out how we get there. We know we've got to increase defence spending. We know that we as a nation, alongside our European allies, have got to play a bigger role in defence.
Donald Trump has talked about us spending 4 or 5% on defence. 2.5% is hardly peace through strength, is it? It's pretty feeble. Zelensky's complained that we keep giving them enough to help them not lose, but not enough to win. Don't you need to be more ambitious?
Right from the start, this country has stood behind the Ukrainian people and President Zelensky and put in place significant support because, yes, we want the Ukrainian people to be in the strongest possible position.
There we have it. The Icewoman did we learn anything? Zilch, nienta, nada, rien. A waste of an interview. Phillipson is the Secretary of State for Education on the front bench at the height of government. She should know stuff, for God's sake. Are we any wiser? Let me know in the comments.